Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to episode 2 of The Forge. Before we get started, if you haven't already, I'd recommend watching episode 1 just to get some context, and if you enjoy the video, please consider liking and subscribing. It would really help me out on getting monetized. Let's get right in. Today we are going to be grinding to level 10 and getting to the Forgotten Kingdom. When we last left off, Sensei Moro gave us a quest to head up to the wizard and go and talk to him because he would give us something special. And here we find out that what he wanted to give us was a portal tool. And this portal tool was going to help us get to the Forgotten Kingdom. However, what I failed to realize is that you must be level 10 to make it there. So, decided to head back down into the village. We're going to go ahead and get started with doing a bit of grinding throughout the village. Before getting started on grinding, I decided that I was going to go ahead and equip my new weapon that had some runes on it. And looking into my inventory and realizing that I had 3 extra weapons, I decided that I was going to go ahead and sell them to Marbles. Marbles ended up giving me about $120 for all 3 of the swords combined. So that's very nice. We're going to be spending some money later on getting a pickaxe, because having the better pickaxes really helps out for whenever you're mining. I decided to accept this man's quest to go and take out some zombies around the cave because he said that he would give me something. So, yeah, because getting to level 10 requires me to get some XP, and ideally he's going to give me some XP. So, I decided to go ahead and do some mining, and then I was going to go ahead and fight some of the zombies. Now, note that only the zombies who don't have the pickaxes count for some reason, because they decide to divide every single zombie up into its little subgroups. So you have 4 different types of zombies. There's the normal zombies, the zombies with the pickaxes, the ones with the swords, and the just insanely buff ones. So, I decided to give you all a little clip of me fighting some of the zombies next. Enjoy. Now, at this point, I have been doing really good fighting-wise. However, this zombie managed to put me really close to dying, and as I ran for the exit, I realized that there were 2 more zombies guarding it, and they managed to eliminate me before I could make it out of the caves. That was really unfortunate, but that happens all the time whenever you're in the caves, so I decided to get back into the caves and just keep mining. Now, I also considered maybe later I might change my race just to have a bit more HP. But this time I decided to go the other way and get some more mining done, and kill the rest of the zombies to complete the quest. So I managed to find this one right here, and I would soon come across something that was very interesting. And so I think most of y'all can see what I'm talking about right now. And in fact, I saw a zombie back here to go to, but I realized this right here, there's like a cave with a gate over it, and I figured that's really interesting. So I wanted to see what I could do in there, but unfortunately you can't get in there. whenever I was forging, I decided to look at some of the tables to see what my odds were for getting, and this time I ended up getting a dagger, so it was really nice, and it ended up being a mushroomite dagger, so whenever it pops off, it ends up looking like it has a little mushroom on top. So that's really goofy. And then we did some more forging, and this one ended up giving me a gladius, so that was really nice to know. And I believe it ended up being a copper gladius, but it looks really nice with the little orange shine on it, so it was really nice to look at. And then after that, I decided to go back into the caves and go ahead and finish another quest. After I'd finished my bit of mining around, I came across a fallen brethren in the caves, and it appeared that he had been probably knocked out by some sort of zombie, though he didn't look dead, so that was a good thing, but I was sad because I was unable to rouse him, and so I decided to get back to doing some more mining and later on see if I would be able to avenge him, and so with that I went back to the mines. I had gotten attacked by a few zombies, and I ended up just running away from most of them by this point, because at this point I'd been attacked by like 6, so after that I found an ally who was killing zombies around here, and at this point right here while I was mining, he actually came across and saved me from getting attacked more. And at this point I went in to the center cave where I knew that there were other players around that would probably be able to help me if I was getting attacked, because I was trying to just grind away to level 10. Really without any care for my safety, and looking back, that was a really stupid thing to do. But I believe I was doing really good on my quest to level up, and I had found another one. This guy had a really nice katana looking weapon. It was really fast at attacking, and I like that. I think I might try and get one later. Anyways, coming up to the pickaxe in the center, I decided I was gonna avenge my teammate by number 1 mining for the fallen dude, and number 2 for fighting off some zombies. So, as always, finish the mine, because as a miner, it's your job to finish the mine for anyone who wasn't able to finish theirs. And then I went off to go and fight them, and we both landed some heavy blows on each other, and I managed to eliminate the one, and the other one brought me down to almost being eliminated myself. But we'll count it a win for the mining brethren, because I managed to take him down. At this point, I had found this girl, and she had this quest for me to gather some ores for her. So, I decided to take the quest, and then I also took the guy's quest to take out some zombies again. And so, we got back to it. After making it back to the guy, I managed to finish this quest, and I realized that my quest was not yet done for the girl to get the ores, so I decided to go ahead and get myself a better pickaxe before I went back to mining, and I ended up getting the gold pickaxe here, and it is very nice for a reason that I am able to now mine the boulders that are in the cave that have 100 HP. I then went over to Marbles and decided to sell some of my excess loot, because it's always good to get some extra money. And, interestingly, he managed to give me exactly 450 for it, and I believe this was the first time that I had ever had a trade for an exact number. Anyways, now that we went back to the mines, as I said, I was able to now mine the boulders. And that's very nice, because I'm able to get, first of all, it gives me multiple rocks sometimes, which is very nice. It has high odds, and then the other rocks, I believe I can now one-tap pebbles. And after that, I went in to break another boulder, and I found a zombie with a sword, and I decided that I was going to try and take him down. Even though I'd already tried to avenge the brethren from earlier, I decided to try and make sure that all zombies end up dying. What I failed to realize when fighting him was that he had a stun attack and was able to eliminate me while I was unable to move, which was very unfortunate for the brethren, because it's good for us to take down as many as we can. Now, after this, I went back into the caves, and I decided to go and take the quest again to take down some zombies. Now, I decided not to take the girl's quest because it's very time-wasting to do, because it takes a lot for not a lot of XP. I finished the man's quest pretty fast and decided to go back up to the surface. Decided to do a bit of walking around for a bit, just see what I could find. I went over to the potion lady, and she had potions. So I decided I was going to buy one, and I was going to test it out in the mines. However, whenever I went down into the mines, it said my inventory was full. So you know how we fixed that? So, anyways, now that my inventory has been slightly emptied and I have some extra weapons, I decided to equip the greatsword because it has a lot of damage that can be dealt with it. And then I decided that sometime later I was going to sell my extra weapons and probably put an enchant or a rune or something on. And so I went to Marbles, as always, the trusty man, to sell him some extra weapons. He gave me 716, so that's very nice to do. And then I went down to go and enhance my weapon. And I managed to enhance it like 3 times. So that was very nice. Actually, looks like I enhanced it 4 times. And then I went over to the rune maker to go and put a rune on it. And first of all, look at that swing. Other than having a low attack speed, it's a very nice swing. Whenever I went to put runes on it, I realized I didn't have any runes to put on it. So, anyways, I drank my potion and got right back to work going through the mines. It was getting close and close. I was probably 1 boulder away at this moment from actually getting to level 10. And that's what I thought here, and then I realized that I was still 1. So, at this point, 2 zombies came to attack me. And I finally attacked with my sword instead of finishing. And then I realized zombies give XP. Anyways, this is the story of how I made it to level 10 to go to the Forgotten Kingdom. But I'm going to save the Forgotten Kingdom for next episode. It's been a pleasure to have you all watching the video, and if you liked it, please consider liking and subscribing. Have a nice night, and thank you all.